Well, you just did. They just got in sentence because that's the smoothest thing.
We all tell ourselves
Excellent,
one day.
excellent. That
Oh,
is
and you
the
guys get an ad, by the way.
Yeah.
I hope you guys
Noot
like
me.
ads. I hope you guys like my new intro for House of Many Doors.
More doors and more doors.
We were
Endless
holding
doors.
hands. We were holding hands, but then I realized I don't have a hand to hold hands with him and hold my wine, so...
And I still think that shouldn't be wine. I think that should be coffee.
Yeah, maybe. I need to get some sleeping medicine, basically.
So wine.
Yeah.
Enough wine is sleeping medicine.
No, you need soporific draft.
No, you don't get enough wine and you will fall asleep.
Forever.
Well, for a while.
No, I think the implication is you're either awake with
I'm sure it'll be fine. Just walk it off. Just go for a nice little walk in the dark. You'll get sleepy and no one will have to worry. How's everybody doing this fine day? Pop out the chats. Oh, bleh. So many windows open. So many windows open. Why so many windows? Really wish I had a second monitor, but I don't have a setup ready for it yet. Well, I just remade my desk from scratch just a month ago, so I'm still reorganizing things. When did that crash happen? The save crash. Just jog my memory. Oh, the Sims. Ah. Mm-hmm. Number 1 princess. Oh, yeah. Chopping parsnips, chopping parsnips.
So who wants to help rig an election?
Oh, we're still in the midst of an election.
I was experimenting, but I was very smart and I backed up my saves, in case I fucked it up. As you can see.
I once had Steam override my saves with broken saves from a previous game version, and it made me sad.
Oh, I picked a bigger font. I hope that helps. I imagine it can't hurt.
Yeah, I will admit, are we actually getting the... No. Yeah. So then, just to introduce ourselves, considering some of you are probably here from the previous Sandrock stream, my name is Chris. My host tonight, because I'm not the host, is Noot, and we're going to be streaming House of Many Doors.
Alright, just got to... I made a checklist for stuff I need to stick in the museum, because I'm smart.
Yeah.
Now I just
and
need
in
to
case
figure out where I put it.
Yeah. And just to give the audience a word of warning today, I'm going to be in and out of the stream a fair bit, because I'm currently cooking a giant pot of chili, and I'll need to check on it fairly frequently. Making 20 liters of chili. Oh, yeah. Yeah, at least, yeah. I'm probably, when we do one of the hour breaks, gonna have to run and get some radishes because I don't have any radishes at the moment.
Radishes. We're probably only gonna do 1 hour break because we kind of started a little late.
Oh, okay. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, the radishes take like 2.5 hours to cook once you add them, so it's important to add them
The
radishes.
first time I had no radishes.
Well, radishes are great because, like, once they cook through, as long as you don't cut them into pieces, they turn into like flavor bombs.
It's like spicy but different.
Yeah, Hidden Boss, I got top billing because introduced us. That's the only reason.
Oh, I just obsessive compulsively wrote it alphabetically.
Nice.
I usually catch that, but as you can see, we're in a bit of a rush.
I just blame it on main character syndrome, to be honest.
Let's save now that I've loaded.
Nice.
Yeah. Work on the campaign trail. Let's see. Where can we cause the most damage?
Well, who's in first and second place? We're probably going to have to start targeting the people in third and fourth place soon, too. Because I'm guessing some of these effects have delayed effects, too.
Yeah.
Like, you start mocking them, and then it doesn't affect them this month, but it affects them next month.
The Carrion Minister is in charge, but he has a lot of scandals, is ahead. I'm going to interview the polling expert when my candidate is in the lead, so he can comment on that, and I can print it.
Neat.
Yeah. The Carrion Minister receives you in a sumptuous satin-cushioned vestibule where the censers and perfume fail to mask his stench. He emerges from a maggot-crawling, fly-blown heap of innards like a ship's figurehead or a victim of quicksand. Lithe, barely clothed servants waft around him, fanning and massaging his steaming extremities. "May I get you a wine?" the minister asks sweetly. "A brandy, a little laudanum, but laudanum,
Laudanum's, not good stuff.
Let's get his opinion on other candidates. People accuse me of impropriety, but only because I'm honest about what I got up to. The other candidates do much worse behind closed doors, and I know all about it. He snaps his fingers. A servant brings you a bundle of papers and daguerreotypes. As these images and receipts conclusively prove, says the Carrion Minister, the city's favorite enigmatic spy mistress has been visiting specialized gargoyle brothels down in the dingiest parts of the dungeon. I wonder what state secret she might be blabbing while in bed with lovers. The silent minister being so careless? Something is wrong.
I'm sure it's fine.
You examine the blurry daguerreotypes closely. A long-nailed, sewn-mouthed ghoul is entering a brothel, glancing furtively over one shoulder. But in just one of the images, you notice that the long yellow nail has slipped slightly. The nails are fake. This was another ghoul in a silent minister disguise. When you point this out, the Carrion Minister laughs nervously. Just a little prank, little game, just checking you are paying attention. Make this the focal point of your article. Politicians and Ghoul Watch are expected to be underhanded during election seasons, but such a shoddy effort demonstrates worrying incompetence. Oh, yeah, I do need to switch off the intro, don't I?
Do you still have the intro on, friend?
I know, but at least we're reading.
Oh god, we audiobook now.
Shut up! I'm just so proud. I'm just so proud of my drawing. Look at the drawing I made. Isn't it beautiful? I love my drawing.
To be fair, right now I'm cutting potatoes and onions, so I'm not paying super much attention to the stream.
This could cost us the election, guys. This blunder.
Oh,
anyway.
Darn.
The Carrion Minister insists on gifting you with several bottles of wine and whiskey before you leave. You build the article around that one quote and send it off to your editor for publication. The next day it's out, and you see your papers being sold and swapped all over Ghoul Watch. Still a few days before the polls come in, what will your next move be?
If the chat's wondering why it took us so long to pay attention, it's because we are a publicly funded service, and that means you only get the highest quality that no money can buy.
Let's write a satirical poem about him, too, to really hammer it home.
Sounds good.
You set your pen down, exhausted, unsure how much time has passed. Your mischievous satire is titled Essay on the Witch.
Necromancer.
Oh, go ahead. You do it.
Necromancer, at last. I behold thee, shining and slight, the daughter of scholarship and existential fright, the shining daughter and the wife who will trust. And thus the hag arose in wisdom and dust. The poem is a thinly veiled allegory lampooning the Carrion minister's impropriety. Within days, the entirety of Ghoulwatch seems to be reciting it to each other. Ugh. The Carrion minister, however, seems to think the poem is just as funny as everyone else. He even learns it by heart and recites it during a speech. It rather diminishes the poem's power.
Oh, hell no, we cheating, boys.
Can't we rig the election like a normal candidate and just make the other candidates illegal?
I'm gonna blow something up this time instead of... Blow something up. If you want to make voters scared, this is the absolute best way to do it. In the dead of night, you plant the gunpowder. The next day, the Ghoulwatch state building collapses in an explosion that rocks the city to its core, flooding the streets in rubble. A citywide sense of panic and despair drives voters towards the toughest candidates. Like ours.
I don't know if our candidate is tough, more just Inuit.
At the end of another week of yeah, let's call it that. Tourmaline Minister is... Oh, the Silent Minister is leading now. I need to find a way to smear her.
Yes. Well, there's 5 people that are either tied or in the lead with us, so...
Oh no, too much wine. I need that lumber. Ooh,
Zorg never lets me down, that is true, Zergov.
Altotas actually fixed it so we actually would reduce sanity loss and resist occult weaponry. And I can always switch it for a better one later on.
Nifty.
Actually, no, I know which one I'm getting. Never mind.
Chop, chop, chop the potatoes.
I know how to do this. You expect to be disappointed, but with slowly building excitement, you realize this trinket is an immensely valuable item, an occult relic of power and significance, the kind of object which men die over. Wonderful news. Oh crap, now I'm even heavier than I was, huh?
Dun dun dun. What do you gotta lose now? Please, sell some stuff.
Hang on, I'm just gonna try and go through these dubious trinkets. There's no way for you to fix this, Altos, but... shit changes weight when you inspect the dubious trinket, depending on what the result is, eh? Nope, I want to keep one dubious trinket. Imagine how extra disrespectful it is to just toss old bones out here, like, hey, we got you new friends, huh?
It's good times.
It's too expensive to toss out, huh? We did a... Fish for gravestones. K.L. Freebush. He who looks upon the stone and read the scripture shall be warned. I have been watching you, and I have occupied a small part of your soul. Oh. You remind the crowd of the dangers that hide in the darkness, blah blah blah. Villagers emerge from their haphazard cottages at the sound of your strident voice. They flock to you, which at first you take as a positive sign, until they start asking if you could keep your voice down. Oh.
Crunch.
Oh,
I was looking. It's always good to have a bit of a crunch when we go.
Self. What does Violante want again? Oh, I don't have enough hazard coffee to do it, I remember. Just 4 polling months left.
We'll get there. We'll have the Ninth Minister win and take over the city, or what's left of the city at that point.
Oh, I didn't already fail. I don't know how to take down the Silent Minister now. The Horned Minister's left arm is replaced by an enormous bronze cannon that dangles ponderously from the elbow. And of course he sports these fierce curling ram's horns framing his burning eyes. He meets you in the battle room, rifles and medals hanging from the walls. Ghoulwatch needs to reassert its position in the intercellular landscape, he growls. We haven't had a good war in 100 years. We live in dark times and we need strength, huh? Ask if he has policies aside from war. Well, I suppose education is important. Children should learn about historic battles, tactics, that sort of thing. Ask about his military ambitions. Ghoulwatch is the oldest city in the house. Older than the city of Keys and the Empire of Thread. We have the historic right to rule, a right we must enforce with cannon and sword. Our empire will extend from here to Phobiter Quinn, Of course the living should have the vote. I respect the living a great deal. Fine fighters. Their bits are much less reattachable than ours, but also much less likely to drop off mid-battle. The Horned Minister plucks a pawn from the warboard and crushes it in his claws. Every morning I spend baking. Only 2 things in the world make me feel joy. The screams of an honorably slaughtered foe and the creation of a cake or small tart. My last premiership was a century ago when we won the War of Lysony's aggression. The public voted me in after Lysan had kicked our armies for about a year, and by the next election the war was already won. It was the last time Ghoulwatch covered itself in glory. And what about the Scarp Minister's premiership? Calabash...
Just so I'm... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
Just so I'm on the right track, Ghoulwatch really loves wars because that's how they repopulate, right?
Nope. Some of the hardened ones do, but... Because ghouls will just appear... through various reasons.
Okay.
Calabac has chosen to isolate Ghoul Watch from the rest of the house. For 30 years we've been made in irrelevance. He's done an excellent job building up our military, but he's too weak-willed to put it to the test.
Weak, we say.
Yeah, let's, he lacks coherent policies outside war. The Horn Minister insists on giving you a tin of fresh scones before you leave. He baked them only this morning, he says, and they're crumbly perfection. Still few days before the polling comes in. Let's try a false... Let's do what we reported the other guy for and do a false smear on the Silent Minister.
I mean, it's legit.
You accuse the Silent Minister of having sold state secrets to the City of Keys. The rumors spread across Ghoul Watch like wildfire. Did you hear about the Silent Minister? No, I didn't believe it at first, but then if you think about it, she has always been a schemer. By evening, your tall tale has seized the city. Ninth Minister. Oh, the Silent Minister didn't lose any votes.
Well, you did that right near the end, so it might still have a way. But, like, yeah, currently there's 5 people in our lead. Oof. This is going to be tough.
Yeah. I am gonna have to...
Rig the election harder, Noot. Rig it harder.
I'm trying.
Push them out a window. I know they won't die, but you could say, well, they tried to die, which looks really bad if they're a ghoul, right? Just imply that it looks real bad. Change public opinion. We need to discuss the options in this and create perfectly meaningless controversy. It's important. Onions.
God fucking damn it.
What happened?
I picked something up.
It's the weight problem. Does it weigh on your mind all the time? Is it just always there?
No, because in the save that I'm going to be loading after we do this to repeat the election, I already sorted all my shit.
Oh, okay.
And I'm down to like 120 weight on that one.
Nicely done. So what kind of tips can you give us on weight loss?
I need that salt for something, but wait, what am I doing? I'm gonna be loading. I can ditch whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to get that far. Stop being a loot goblin.
Shut up. I helped a ghost. I'm a good guy. Hey Altos, are you back yet by chance?
Has not mentioned it. Yeah.
No, he hasn't mentioned it.
Don't do hard labor. I mean, that is an option, but that's not fun.
Hey Altos, can you offer me any advice for taking the Silent Minister down? Apparently everybody believed that she's selling state secrets to the City of Keys, but nobody cared, huh?
Well, Zergov, fun is implied. It's like cutting onions. Cutting onions is fun. You feel the tingles, especially in your eyes. Like hard labor? Man, that's a job. I'll get paid for that.
I think he's made enough of a growth that the polling expert's going to be impressed.
Hopefully.
Small bespectacled ghoul in a brightly polka dot dress. Her office is a chaotic scrum of workers bustling back and forth, shouting at each other and dropping files. Voters care a great deal about the polls, and we know we're influential, so we must ensure utmost accuracy. The more successful a candidate is seen in the polls, the more voters they attract. No one wants to throw their vote away on a hopeless case.
Speak for yourself.
Tourmaline minister's taken a remarkable dive in popularity. We're not sure what to attribute this to. Perhaps his lack of experience? We honestly aren't sure how this could have happened. Perhaps he will bounce back. The bright minister doesn't have a hope in hell. His supporters are extremely loyal, but everyone else ranks him as their least preferential candidate except the ninth.
Ooh.
That's probably inaccurate. Because it's really hard for them to account for every single thing that happens in the game.
I still found it funny.
I agree, it's funny. The gallows minister is making a decent showing, but not strong enough to pull ahead, and his supporters are notoriously fickle. They'll move elsewhere if he looks unlikely to win. Ooh. There's something. The silent minister has a decent chance. She's always been the queen of snagging an unexpected victory. She can't be discounted unless her numbers fall very low indeed. Shit. The carrion minister is performing abysmally considering his strong start. A huge loss in support. He always manages to fall at the last hurdle like this. The horn minister hasn't got much of a chance in winning. He's very far behind. At this point it would take a minor miracle. The ninth minister is looking surprisingly strong, but he won't win, of course. He won't. He can't. She makes a surreptitious note to herself in the memo pad. Book holiday. The electorate will shrink as ghouls panic and leave the city. Awesome, That's perfect, Make it a focal point, And we'll campaign to the middle tiers to try and take some votes away from the silent minister. The middle tiers of Ghoul Watch are pleasant, if you can ignore the smell and the occasional hanging corpse. There are leafy parks and children playing in streets. Passers-by will tip their hat to you. The beggars are politely ignored. Bribes. No! Did that help at all? That helped a little bit, but let's see what happens if we succeed at polling. Or campaigning. You make zealous speeches in the park and afterwards march through the street at the head of a cheering, singing crowd. There we go. You back, Chris? Y'all excited? I did accuse him of selling state secrets. It didn't do anything to her vote, but direct campaigning did. I'm guessing the 19% were the people who simply wouldn't believe it. It's fine. I just pulled ahead and I should be able to maintain it if I'm smart about this. I see no reason I shouldn't be able to. Where's this deactivated golem?
Altos, so what you're saying is that the script is about as bad as a real election?
We're in the lead.
We got in the lead. Nice.
Yep. We took 2 points from the silent minister.
And that was enough?
Yeah, because we also took a point from each of the other candidates too.
Cool. So, question, Altos, does that script include things like uh acceleration over time of votes, or is it just kind of like are all the percentages just static in the back end?
Just 2 polling months left.
Mm-hmm. Because like one thing you can kind of notice in real world elections, I know this is kind of borderline politics talk, but I'm not talking specific politics, so I'm going to go away with it. Is that you can kind of watch the momentum of the polls, and like if someone keeps gaining a point every polling week, you can kind of guess that they're going to keep doing that.
You want to read this one?
Sure. The gallows minister dangles at the center of his crypt library, surrounded by books and sarcophagi. His hands are fused together at the fingertips and hang forever behind his back. He has servants hold up books for him and turn the pages on his behalf. He also has a reputation as a tedious windbag. He opens his interviews by taking you through a 15-minute and meticulously accurate history of the Ghoulwatch sewer system.
Policies. What are your policies?
He proposes the repeal of certain obscure legislations and implementation or reinstatement of certainly mildly more effective ones, and the abolition of the archaic practice of hanging the unreturned dead, copious investment in infrastructure and education. You ask where the money comes from, and he supplies a 19-point bulletin of exactly where the money would come from. Cuts to underperforming services, cuts to the military, cuts to politicians' expenses. Maybe a cut to the hand, maybe a cut to his throat, even.
What's up with the news, son?
I don't see how this is relevant to the election, he says coldly.
Will you tell me off the record?
No, this is completely irrelevant.
Wait, can I do it again? Nah. I want to know.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me if he hasn't even looked at the news.
Yay.
He coughs and gently swings. Well, fine. The ministers of Ghoulwatch have never changed, and are always the same 9 people, the same 9 choices, ever since the same first vote. Have you not wondered why that is? Most ghouls rot away after a century or so, and no matter how much formaldehyde they apply, but we've lasted more than 1,000 years. Long ago, we did something to make sure we'd last a long time, he continues after a moment, and it's something blasphemous, and all of us were punished. Tongues removed, or horns attached, scarred, and turned to viscera. None of us escaped unscathed, but we outlasted the gods who punished us.
Altos, they can't be talking about what I think they're talking about, right? This has to be a separate thing, eh?
It's circles within circles.
How about the living? The living must have the vote. Anti-life bigotry has no place in modern society. Won't change anything. I hang here and I read, says the gallows minister. Only non-fiction, of course. Fiction has no place in the cultivation of political mind. He's unrelatable even to fellow bookworms. This will certainly drive voters away, eh? What about last time? My last premiership was a grand success, as I recall. We had no wars, no major disasters, and the economy boomed. Some people complained of boredom, because boredom was the worst thing they could complain about. If there's one thing you can say about Gallows, he's reliable. In uncertain times, this might win him favor. What about the scarred minister?
Make up a poison piece saying that it was so boring that nobody knows how long his election is, or how long his term was, because everybody fell asleep. But some think it lasted 100 years.
Altos, we'll talk about this further in probably the AMA or a spoilers channel in text later. Because we don't want to ruin this for everybody.
Well, we've kind of done a little bit of too yet, haven't we?
A little bit, but I don't know if everybody quite understands the...
Fair. I've been a little closer on the pulse than Pat could be expected to be.
Turn, move your thumb. The gallows minister tired instructions to his book-holding servant. Follow you to the door. You build the article around that.
You build the article around that one quote and send it off.
No, I hit the wrong button, I think.
Oh, okay. Turn. Move your
Nope.
thumb.
I just found a glitch, Altos. I'll walk you through it one more time so you can watch nice and slow. I'm not going to ask about the neck because I'm going to be loading again. Okay, so if you ask about his opinion of the last, of the current, Prime Minister, it posts something, but I can't be 100% sure what. It makes you publish an article.
So the indice is probably off. Does that mean we're going to pause doing the election here for a little bit, or are we going to continue on with other options?
Nope. He's unrelatable to even bookworms. This will drive voters away. A quietus surprise. Exposing a scandal right before the election means it'll be fresher and I'll have much more power to sway them.
A side note, for those people tuning in right now and not sure what Altos and Noot are talking about, I believe they're talking about the spoilers channel for the developers of this game.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the directly to do with the BPL.
You delve deep into the Silent Minister's affairs. You follow her servants and quickly find yourself being followed too by dark-suited ghouls with impressively grim faces. You manage to shake them off with the help of a smoke bomb, several mannequins, and a lookalike in disguise. Searching through historical records in the Crypt Archive, you find that those who unduly inconvenience the Silent Minister tend to vanish. Worrying implications for your own safety aside, you keep searching. Finally, you find it, a decade-old witness statement from a minor politician that a ghoul with a distinctive scar had attempted to abduct him. The same ghoul had been following you earlier. Wait for the poll results to come in. Alright, I think the Silent Minister is our only worry because she might cheat. But other than that,
it's interesting the same ghoul was going after you, given that we heard that most ghouls only last 100 years.
It said decades old, not centuries.
True. It just makes it unlikely rather than impossible.
Actually, you know what am I doing? Let's just waste some fetch mirrors. Ah, fuck.
Dun dun dun.
Let's see what this does. Oh, whatever that option was, it's way more effective than the option I chose. The broken one.
Mm-hmm. The burn. It feels so good.
Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wandering, fearing, doubting, dreaming, dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was broken and the stillness gave no token, and the only words there spoken were the whispered words, no more.
I mean, that's actually not a bad poem. I think
that's because it's 90% Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, huh?
Yeah, it's like, this is, probably in the top 2 poems we've seen the whole time.
Yeah, and that's because it's pirated or ripped off.
All the best work is derivative.
Interview the Bright Minister. You don't want to waste time on this nonsense or you've run out of options. Maybe the Bright Minister will say something to piss the other people off.
Mm-hmm.
The Bright Minister has been derided in the media for his fashion sense. Purple robes and pointed shoes just scream last century occultist. He has a shock of white hair that curls down his back and thankfully has today deigned to wear his thick leather blindfold. Pale light shines at its edges. He meets you in his planetarium at the very top of Ghoul Watch. Luminous orbs glide in circles around the enormous bronze pillar of a telescope. Hello, he says mildly. Sit. Thank you for coming to see me. Ask about accusations of unethical occultism. I categorically deny the accusations against me, says the Bright Minister, folding his arms. The rumors were cooked up by the so-called mainstream media. Oh, I can get proof, huh?
One of these days, I want to hear politicians say, "I categorically accept the allegations against me," and I curse anyone who thinks otherwise. All those lies, oh, they're actually true.
What about your well-known desire to get out of the house? He ushers you towards his telescope. When you press your eye to it, all you see is a gray stone ceiling. One day, we will look and see stars, he says. Most voters view the Bright's obsession with escape as fanatical and unrealistic, but those voters won't vote for him anyway. His core demographic, his tight cadre of cult-like followers, believe in him with a passion.
Passion.
Give the living the vote? What have they done to deserve it? Go to your city of angels and ask how they treat ghouls there. This would split the Tourmaline minister's vote, and he is in second, isn't he?
I believe he is.
Yep. Home life. Home life? The Bright Minister shrugs uneasily. I dedicate all my time to my research. I study the orbits of other worlds. I look through my telescope. I read. I summon. No one's likely to be won over by that.
Orbits of what other worlds?
What about last time you were Prime Minister? The Bright Minister advances on you, poking his bony finger into your chest. How many times must I warn journalists not to bring that up?
Evening, Dragon Leather.
The light spilling beneath his blindfold is harsher now. That was a long time ago, and no one ever proved anything. I was acquitted of all they accused me of. It was a rogue cell of deranged occultists acting outside their orders. They were executed, and that's the end of it. He turns and stalks back to his seat. One of his pointed slippers has fallen off, and he shoves it back on, cursing.
Doth protest too much, I believe.
Yeah. The Scarred, the Gallows, the Carrion, they all collect from the same paymasters, dance for the same piper. If you want real change, vote for me or the Tourmaline.
Again, I'm kind of confused on how he studies other planets.
Yeah. Let's split the vote.
Oh man, if he's studying other planets, he can already see the stars, so that means he's already found a way out of the house and just doesn't want to let anyone else out. Destroy his voter base.
A fear-mongering... Wait, no. Let's make a satirical poem about him now.
Mm-hmm. Lost 3, draw recollections. You set your pen down, exhausted, unsure how much time has passed. Your mischievous satire is titled Dreaming Atop the Peacocks. Always stride gracefully into bereft threads, the dull wreck of balance, and no shreds. For born a wreck, the simpleton will always fade. I'm driven to this peace by knowledge and shade. Also, that might be true, but it's much more fun to imply that he actually has found a way out of the house, but just doesn't want to let anybody else know.
This poem is a thinly veiled allegory lampooning the Bright Minister's mad experiments. Within days, the entirety of Ghoulwatch seems to be reciting it to each other, except for his fanatical followers who refuse to repeat it. The election looms. You receive one last payment from the 9th Minister. Not true, by the way. Hopefully you've earned it. The election is underway. Queues of ghouls throttle the streets, but the game's not over. You have time for one last move. Outside you hear fireworks or gunshots. On election day it could be either.
Assassination. Time to assassinate second place.
Blow up a polling station. This will make most sensible people too scared to vote. Protect the ballots. That would be what stops probably the Silent Minister from making too much of a difference. I can stuff the ballots, I can suppress voters, I can campaign on the streets, or I can blow something up. You set the gunpowder early that morning. Not too many people caught in the blast, just 2 election officials and an unlucky janitor. After the polling station explodes, the street empties. Nobody wants to risk life simply for the sake of politics. Well, no one except true fanatics. Now, wait for the votes to be counted. There are 2 kinds of silence, the silence of the tomb and the silence before a great deal of noise. Ghoulwatch is suffering the latter. You want to read?
Sure. It's a nervous slog of a night as the votes trickle in. Lights glimmer across Ghoulwatch. No one is sleeping in this city of the dead. Finally, early next morning, the results
I'd
are
read the
officially...
percentages this one time.
Yeah, announced. The Tourmaline Minister has 18%. The Carrion Minister has 11. Silent, 12. Gallows, 10. Horned, 11. Bright Minister coming in third at 13. And the Ninth Minister has a quarter of the vote, 25%. The announcer pales and coughs as he reads the Ninth Minister's name. Icon, he whispers once he has recovered. You have voted for Icon. Gods save us all. Not even gods can save a democracy. A rumbling begins beneath your feet, a rumble so loud it drowns out the screams of the crowd. The Ninth Minister rises, roaring across his cremated district, a titan of burning timber and shattered windows, and the colossus walls of Ghoulwatch start to crack.
Yeah,
Negative
I bet you
500 reputation. Ghoulwatch.
Lost divine gained divine reproach with Nahash. Willowpan's mad. Cobblestone's mad. Morbazar's mad. Escape to your centipede. The city is already coming down. You leap over cracks splitting in the street. Dive away from collapsing masonry. You guys thought it was more of a metaphorical vote for destruction, didn't you?
No. I told you that...
No, I figured you got it, but I'm wondering what the,
Yeah.
You scuttle away from Ghoulwatch like a cockroach fleeing a house fire. The luckier and richer citizens have made it to their ships and are flying all around you. Back in the falling city, a conflagration has started. A swirling pillar of flame reaches the ceiling. The stone walls crack and shatter and melt. The tiers of the citadel collapse in on themselves. Entire streets have come crashing down, layers falling on layers. An ocean of dust sweeps the room, accompanied by a shockwave so severe your kinetipede's legs buckle. It takes just 6 hours for the oldest city in the house to crumble entirely. You turn your kinetipede and stare from a distance. Beneath the pall of smoke, nothing remains but rubble. Tiny figures pick amongst the wreckage, but they won't last long. Darkness is already closing in. Ghoulwatch has been destroyed. They chose this, not you. Icon has finally claimed its host.
No, this would have been... This feels like very much like that, the detective from Boondock Saints. Like, it feels like something could be said in his voice. There was a triumph!
The Ninth Minister has done his terrible work. Ghoulwatch is a shattered, smoldering ruin. Nothing remains. If only you could show Cromlech the Gothic spires, the sullen gargoyles, the gallows and gates. The guns so huge and old they're covered in moss. The crenellations and columns and bleak stone faces, the spectacular blanket of bright flowers that ghouls call the Garden of the Sublime. Alas, all of it is gone now. Cromlech gazes at the ruins with horror. The Church of the Cannibal Symphonies is completely destroyed. Lucetta proposes to look for surviving priests in the Moslin River. The gargoyle manufactory is nothing but rubble. Maybe some worker ghouls can also be found at the Moslin River.
I mean, we can always use more crew.
Let's go to the Moslin River.
Yeah, that's why we did this, by the way, right? Just to get more crew?
No, to test...
No, I meant, I'd like to say that that's why we did it.
Yeah.
The whole reason was just to get a few more crew members.
After the spectacular destruction of Ghoulwatch, Moslin villages was flooded with a steady flow of refugees, and many of them were just lucky to be outside of the capital that dreadful day. Or maybe they were more sensitive than the others to the signs of an upcoming calamity and left the place behind.
Who will know?
The rotten priests are enormously thankful and immediately start making copies of the yellowing note sheet. Please, stay a while and listen, to the ode being performed. The living are usually not allowed to listen, but it would be our pleasure to make an exception, Let's listen to the fifth ode. You sit on the ground by the campfire, surrounded by rotting undead. In the absence of a church organ, they're going to perform a cappella. The fifth ode swells, an inhumanly sorrowful dirge that soars through the riverbanks. It fills your bones with an old aching grief unlike anything you've ever known. The ghouls around you have their eyes closed, their hands on their long silent hearts. And then it's done. The ghouls shuffle out one by one, each taking time to thank you for returning their stolen snippet of god music. Hey, I gained back 4 of my reputation. That's pretty,
oh yeah, you're up to
pretty
negative 496. Well done.
Oh yeah.
Either that or this is new Ghoulwatch.
The gargoyles once served as sentient turrets, decorations, alarm systems. Sad dead men mounted legless on a wall or buttress, their anatomies altered for war, blunderbuss mouths, spike hands, searchlight eyes. They were everywhere on Ghoul Watch. 1,000 hung on the outside of the great fortress city itself. Great green men on gray-green stone, blending into the background, and every Navy vessel had at least a few on its prow. No one volunteered to make a gargoyle. Ghoul Watch was guarded by the lowest of its society, its debtors and its criminals. Apparently 1 or 2 of the worker ghouls have set up in a spacious cave near Cancrum village. Ghouls do not feel pain. No scream here, only the scrape of metal on bone and mutters of sullen resentment. A rotting head sits on the workbench nearby, mouth moving silently. Everywhere there are pieces of decaying human debris. One of the white-suited worker ghouls walks up with you with uncertainty. Oi! What you doing here? You tell the ghoul that Harmony wants done to her, he boggles. Okay, this is all similar to the last one, so I do believe we are good to load. Yeah. Is that a good enough sign that it all worked, Altos? I probably already got the criminal enterprise for that. No problem, my dude.
And back once more.
Oh, you want to see what Altos added?
Oh, sure.
What have I got? What have I got? Not 21. The flow and the echo. Oh, look! Now it goes right back to the poems right when you finish it, like we suggested.
Nice. Very thank you.
Yep.
Very much thank you, Altos.
They pushed a patch that broke it this morning, and then within 3 hours, or that broke the game in some way, and then within 3 hours posted a hot fix. So they're on the ball.
A little bit, you know, what was it? Pushing to dev there, eh? Or pushing to production, I mean.
We gotta push it out like a diarrhea.
I mean, I have worked with some coders in the past that I would have preferred diarrhea over what they gave me. Cause sure, it was structured.
Didn't you say advertise for a crew member should have the same have the same treatment, or are you just planning to add that? Huh? Your zoological specimen has been stuffed and mounted. You think they broke its spine to force it into a regal pose?
Oh, it's fine.
It's fine. I need new crew anyway, so I can show you again to make sure you're actually watching if you need it, Alto. And the biological anomaly, I think I want to feed to the crows.
Nom nom.
Nom nom
Nom
nom
nomicon.
nom nom. Alright. You guys want to see what worshipping a god entails these days?
I'm assuming something horrific.
You know it. What am I missing here? Color dust. I need color dust and soporific draft. Okay. Next god. Cobblestone. Also don't have enough for that. There you go. Scorthidian. You'll need a knife, of course, or better, a scalpel. And a bowl to catch the blood. Those are easy enough to come by. Other ingredients are more difficult. Tools to open the gate, totems to protect your mind and eyes, something to keep your wounds from unknitting you entirely. It must be done quickly in case something comes through. Oh dear. You want to read that before I load and try that again?
Sure. Come on, open up. An unnerving ritual. You cut your skin and drain the wound. Blood pools gluttonous into the bowl. You make the necessary precautions. You sow the salt, clutch the iron, and break the fetch mirror. As you pour your blood through the cracks, you see something huge and incomprehensible rising from behind glass. Something is trying to come through. Not Orthidian, but perhaps something from its realm, or perhaps merely an abomination from the between place of mirror eyes. Either one could destroy you in an instant if your protections are not enough. You stab the warding iron down into the splintered mirror with a desperate, furious motion, just as the glass starts to deform and bulge towards you. Your open wounds are widening. You feel yourself unknitting, splitting apart, unthreaded. The monster retreats from your iron, bellowing in scratches and whispers. The bowl slips to the floor, shatters, flooding your room with blood. Everything has failed. Everything. You desperately try to reconstitute yourself as you feel the structure of your body loosening and barely manage it, but you manage it. You crawl away from the broken mirror, offering unmade, and call desperately for your surgeon.
You may not recover for this. The coagulant god shifts its gaze away from you, deeming you unworthy of its favor. Oops. It's fine though. It's fine.
Oopsie whoopsie.
Everything is fine.
Oopsie whoopsie. What's a little bit of blood spilt between friends?
Oh geez, that's a difficult one. Oh no, we're being raided.
Heyo! Thanks for coming on down here, Thiobus. How's it going?
Cut the flesh, pull open the wound. Cut, bleed, drain, collect, repeat. Your blood accumulates. The pressure behind your eyes intensifies. Sow the salt, clutch the iron, pour your blood through the cracks in the splintering mirror. Scorthidian receives your offering and lightly brushes your mind with its own. Terror wells in you like bile. Bile also wells in you like bile. You stagger away, retching. Is this success? Is this what success feels like? You collapse in a mess of tears and blood and agony. When you reawaken, you're healed. Those scars remain. I gained one favor of Scorthidian. What's done is
lost
done.
Scrutiny.
The coagulant god has granted you a boon. Spend it wisely.
$5. Selling it for $5. I know what I got. No lowball.
Call in your favor with Scorthidian. A god's favor should not be spent lightly. You retreat in your quarters and spend time in communion with your god. What will you ask of it? Blood. Scorthidian will grant you a few fragments of its very being. You rejoice in the generosity of your god. Your gratitude dissolves their interest in you like salt in water. Your faith has been rewarded.
Was that one of the stats, or was that just something else?
I could have gotten stats, but I got something else. Wrong button. Oh, can't do that quite yet. Huh. That doesn't look right, but okay. Alright, how many mirrors do I got? 5, let's go. We'll split up the election a little bit more, since we have to redo it. I already have a bunch of them.
Sell, sell, sell.
Oh yeah. Take my hideous revelation. Take my other hideous revelation. Mind-shattering disruption. Let's show Cromlech the grandeur of Ghoulwatch. You want to read?
Sure. You show him the Gothic spires, the sullen ghoulgoyles, the gallows, the gates, and the guns so huge that they're covered in moss. And old that they're covered in moss. The crenellations and columns and bleak stone faces, the spectacular blanket of bright flowers that the ghouls call the gardens of the sublime. He protested first, but is soon staring around in childish wonder.
At one point, the church bells ring and he pauses, smiling.
I wonder if he actually appreciated it.
Press conference.
Standing at the speaker's podium is a ghoul
We
who's
already
every...
did that.
Oh, okay. Fine.
I'll be a fixer on my own. Missing a tongue, Edwithin communicates only in writing and signs. She favors espionage, assassin, and keeping of secrets. She's also kind of the status quo, so I think we're gonna maybe vote for her. Unless we want to do the Gallows Minister. Because he's also status quo, and I don't mind him that much.
You don't actually want it to fall apart?
Nah.
Ah.
Yeah. I want to be nice. I want the best man to win. Or best person, I guess. And I think that's either Gallows Minister or Silent Minister. What do you think, Chris?
Ooh. The Silent Minister, I think, would give us more chances for intrigue later on.
I don't think it really works like that, but she does pay the most, I think, of the good candidates. I guess Gallows Minister will be an investment in knowledge. Yeah, we could do the Gallows Minister. Hanging from a gibbet in the Crypt Library, he favors scholarship, education, and the accumulation of knowledge. Yes. The Gallows Minister receives you in his vast Crypt Library where he dangles from a fraying noose, blah blah blah. It's imperative that I win this election. The other candidates would prove a disaster for the city. I've already compiled an extensive list of sensible education reforms and some legislation I hope will relieve street congestion not insignificantly. He'll pay me 250 guineas each month.
Cha-ching.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta get them dollars. Afternoon, Rimward Herald. I hope you're having a great afternoon. I know I'm having an afternoon. Sadly, I'm not paying attention as much as I should be.
That's all right. I think this is gonna be. I think this is a bit of an off day for us, and that's okay. We're allowed to have those as humans.
No, I have to be able to multitask and do 7 things at once, all at 100%. You see, that's a critical skill. It's the Ooh, my life. Yeah.
Other ministers have been around just as long as I have. Come now, 1,000 years and I'm the only one that hasn't been in power? How's that fair? I blame the mainstream media. It's my turn now. I don't think that's how that works.
Well, absolutely how it's worked. Elections are supposed to be fair and balanced. Everybody gets a choice. Everybody gets a chance. It's in the name.
Yeah, we got him. Let's fuck him up. I don't have enough droll recollections. Oh yeah, I lost all my droll recollections doing something, but I forget what. I think drinking bottled darkness.
You know, there's a pun there. I lost all my droll recollections, but I forget doing what? Unintentional comedy, the only comedy we provide.
Let's expose us a scandal about the Tourmaline. Let's really drive him into the mud. No!
You don't get no respect. You get no satisfaction.
I'm gonna drive him into the mud again.
If you can get a candidate so disliked by the city that he refuses to ever run again, don't actually support any candidate. Just keep bad-mouthing one of them the whole way down. See if you can get their support to like 0%.
But you follow his servants and find them dealing with Ghoul Watch's criminal underworld. It seems the Tourmaline minister has a catastrophic gambling debts that he's only barely keeping hidden. There have also been a number of disappearances linked to him. His rivals, ex-wives, unkind journalists. Unfortunately, you can't find enough to make those look anything more than suspicious. Oh, I just gave a lot to the Carrion minister. At the end of another campaign for the Gallows Minister, the polls come back. Blah, blah, blah. You still have a long way to go. Money. They call me Old Bombastic.
Oh, I know that reference.
Mr. Bombastic by Shaggy.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Shaggy! Shaggy Haley!
Oh, man, I'm so bad with names. I'm bad with nouns in general. Yeah, did we get there yet?
No, but there's an item that you can only get one of in this game, but that's never stopped me before, so why is it going to stop me now, right?
I'm sure we can find a bug to give us two.
I've already got the cheat worked out.
Dun dun dun! I wonder if it'll break the display text.
Or if it doesn't, I've checked.
Ah, okay. Sometimes it's funny when that happens. Sometimes it's scary. Back in the day, old text in app games was stored as a giant text block, and it would just keep putting out text where you wanted, from where this cursor started in this text block to the next line end, or the next /0 if you talk about bytes.
You tell the ghoul what Harmony wants done to her. He boggles so hard an eye falls out. We don't work on living humans. We could kill you, or put you in coma, or shock or something. You better go home, girl. I have money. No, we're very well paid already, thank you, and no bribe is enough to risk murdering someone. Not even for living memories of companionship, cake, and sweetly cut grass. You have him. He licks his ragged lips. Fine, he says, taking the memory box from you and quickly hiding it away, but I won't do anything that'll kill you. Of course not. I know exactly what I want. Come. You're left alone on the workbench, next to the disembodied head. Its eyes roll at you furiously, and it shouts until it unbalances and falls over. Hang on.
That's like right out of Lex. Dun dun dun. Don't watch Lex. I don't recommend watching Lex. But yeah, old games used to use that text box thing for displaying text, but it would mean that if they screwed up the pointer to where to start in the text box, it would just keep going and going and going past, like, from some random piece of text, possibly near the end.
Try to read the head's lips, and I'll have you do it because I'm coughing.
Okay. Help me, the head is saying, although it has no air to make the sound. Take me with you. Don't want this.
Yay, free head,
You grab the rotting head and tuck it away. Just in time, you hear the squeak squeak of trolley wheels.
Harmony's coming back.
After nearly 8 hours, the ghoul worker returns. Grabbing the head should not have taken you 8 hours.
I know.
Pushing a bed on wheels, Harmony lies on top. Her entire body is swathed in bandages. If she dies, don't blame me, says the ghoul. This never happened. Got it? Good. I need to get back to work.
You leave, pushing Harmony on the bed before you. Oh, what? I got 5 undead noggins? How'd that happen? There's only supposed to be one of those in the game, I love you, cheat engine, I love you,
Terrible.
I promised I was going to, do 2 of every item, Alright, who wants to listen to some fun? The ghosts don't believe you at first. You're sent to speak with the gallows minister, my employer, no less, dangling eternally from a noose. Many so-called newly discovered cannibal symphonies have been faked in the past, he says, arching his eyebrows sternly over his spectacles. You hold the note sheet up to his face and he reads through it, humming the tune under his breath. Finally, his eyes widen. This is it, he whispers. The 5th ode of Bezlathoth, I would recognize it anywhere, even after all these centuries. Amazing! Servants, deliver this sheet to the Church of the Cannibal Symphonies. They must see it immediately. You're bustled out of the crypt library and down the street. The dead priests receive you with joy. Please stay. You sit in the pews, surrounded by rotting undead and enormous stone sarcophagi. The ghoul priest sits on a church organ on the dais above you, hands poised. As they flutter over the ivory keys like butterflies, the 5th ode swells, an inhumanly sorrowful dirge that soars through the entire city. It fills your bones with an old, aching grief unlike anything you've ever known. The ghouls around you have their eyes closed, their hands on their long, silent hearts, and then it's done. The ghouls shuffle out one by one, each taking the time to thank you for returning their stolen snippet of God music. I'm popular. I know you're not changing it, but you're the witness that I had. That I put 2 of those in the museum, or I'm going to.
This is Noot's Witness Me.
Witness
act.
me.
We don't have a can of spray paint. Will whipping cream work? Witness me.
Harmony seems to have recovered. Let's examine her new additions.
She's up in bed, spooning thin gray soup through a mouth slit in her bandages. Thanks for the help of Ghoul Watch, she says with some difficulty. Her voice seems much thicker and clumsier than it had been, as though she's speaking through a gag. Without you, I don't know what I would have done.
New tongue?
She unwinds her bandages and sticks out a newly forked tongue, the scabs in the bisection still raw. She twists and shows you the iron studs that have been driven into her back. She lifts her left hand. The index finger has been replaced with a sleek iron spike.
Congratulations.
Yes, she says, it's everything I've dreamed of. She holds up her other hand, still clean and whole. I have very different plans for this one. A lack of symmetry is key.
All of this. Why?
My father stopped painting me after my mother disappeared. That was when I prayed, and Angel Crab answered me. Angel Crab, who taught me how to see the world as it does. Everything has an ideal shape, its own perfectly abominable contortion, and every deviance from that deviance is a sore abscess at the back of my mouth. Yet I do not count myself a worshipper of Angel Crab, she says. We differ in the details. I have my own vision. I will make the world anew, beginning with myself.
So what next?
One more stop, the ultimate object of our pilgrimage. You have must known this is where we're going, to Harlequin, to the grotesqueer.
Yeah, I kind of knew that.
So what kind of animal hand is she going to get? I'm going to go with crow.
I don't know. I think she gets a... I think maybe she gets... I don't remember what she gets, actually. That's a good point.
I want her... I'm imagining her. She's going to get a crow's claw as a hand. Upside, this hand will actually work.
Alright. Naughty Doctor. I'm going to threaten to force feed him hazard coffee and make him sleepless.
Dun, dun, dun.
You feed the Naughty Doctor coffee after coffee, pouring them through his helmet until the slime inside is boiling. No! He shouts finally, breaking his silence at last. Despite his displeasure, his voice is monotone. Stop. I cannot become sleepless. I will answer your questions. What's your name? I am designated, and here the Naughty Doctor spits out a stream of numbers, letters, and guttural clicks so fast that you can barely follow them. What do your friends call you? The Naughty Doctor spits out the same stream of numbers, letters, and clicks. How did you cure Violante's wake madness? We put her on an intense regimen of caffeine and sleep drugs. Then we performed a ritualized law violation and rearranged certain parts of her neurology via surgery. Law violation is a ridiculous term they use to describe the occult, says Violante. Why do you experiment on the sleepless? We come to the house because our analyses told us it would contain the secret to immortality. We will find the secret, and then find a way to escape back to our old world. Studying the sleepless seemed most promising route to obtaining the secret. Sleep is a small death, after all. How can I stop your people from chasing Violante? We have only ever successfully cured 2 cases of wake madness, and the other successful subject died in the course of the escape. We have studied for over a century to reach this point. We'll stop at nothing to reclaim her. If you were to bring her to Waker's Respite, we would give you anything you desire in exchange, treasures beyond your wildest imagining. A ripple of bitter hatred passes over Violante's face. She pulls a palm-sized pistol from her purse and aims it at his head. Now! You gently pull the pistol from her hand. She doesn't resist, though if looks could kill, the Naughty Doctor wouldn't have to worry about the gun. He's far too dangerous to let live. But I trust your judgment. Can we speak in private? They're not going to stop chasing us, says Violante. Maybe you should just give me up to them. I can't see any other way. No, we should take the fight to Waker's Respite. A sudden fire gleams in Violante's eyes. It's impossible, surely, You spent years there. How can we destroy Waker's respite, The Wake Mad, says Violante, her eyes bright. If we were able to shut down the central coil, all the power would die. Without power, the naughty doctors would have no working weapons. And then if we let the Wake Mad free from their cells, it would be a slaughter. An excellent plan. You stay up with Violante long into the night, discussing how to best bring down Waker's respite. She drinks hazard coffee like a woman unafraid of death. Finally, you've drawn up a plan. We just need to visit Waker's respite. Oh no, horrifying ordeal. Anyway. Did you say you need to go grab something?
I do need to I do need to grab radishes, but given that I haven't even started braising the meat, I'm going to be cooking for a while, so I'm good to go. How much longer are you planning on going for, Noot?
I am... Hang on. I'm going to go for another hour and 10 minutes, so let's say we take about a 10-minute break then. How's that sound?
Okay, that works for me.
Alright, we will be right back, folks. Enjoy our intermission image, which is this one.
You're really proud of it.
I know, I am really proud of it.
My clapping's not being picked up, but I'm clapping right now.
This is me. This is Stalin.
We'll see you guys soon.
Yeah.
See you. Bye. Altos, are you mocking Noot's prime creativity? It's prime. It's unique, and that makes it valuable. Yeah. Anyways, you have yourself a great evening there, Altos. I mean, it could be copied and possibly even pasted.
Oh, are we talking about the art in the game?
Yes, we are. Someone asked if it could be copied, and then the value is even dropping even more. It is now worth roughly $10. Hidden boss. Well, haha! I have already made an NFT. Its value is immeasurable.
Wait, so you know when you're inspired by an artist, there's a good chance that if you lean into it, your art will look like them, and that's kind of okay. That's the style, so that's what you learned on.
Hidden boss. Minus just means we've overflowed the money system. I use only positive integers to represent money, so it is worth infinite money.
Anyway, we have an artist or two that trained themselves specifically inspired by this style, so they're going to probably be contributing to the mod. Plus, when possible, we're going to contribute the actual artist, Catherine something or other. It's fun watching them. I'm also going to see if we can't get a portrait of a 20-year-old green onion.
I will mention that the grandfather to this game, not Sunless Seas, but the father to that, it's that web game. I forget what it is. I know somebody who plays it fairly regularly, and I look at it and I'm like, I really don't feel that there's a consistent art style to it. Fallen London, yes, thank you, Hidden Boss.
All of this art in this game was done by the same person.
And I know that
so there is consistency in.
Yeah, I know that's not the case for Fallen London because it's been going on for so long, but like, it's if anything, it's got non-consistent styles.
I should screenshot this so I know what I need and don't need.
It's always a good plan.
I think I want to do God Corpse last. Let's craft hell armor from our deiform scab matter. Do you want to read?
Sure. Your crew is spending 3 back-breaking days bedecking the Kinetipede in a hardened godblood, reciting all the necessary prayers. Still, this is the sort of blasphemy that will no doubt offend some of the sanctioned. But surely, it's worth it. This is an armor harder than the strongest steel. It looks atrocious, a misshapen crust of world black-red scabbed. But it will resist all but the most powerful of missiles.
An armor to offend the gods and strike them with fear.
Hey, I have top billing. That means I only get a cut of the net profits. Thank you very much. Not the gross.
Are you looking at my new hull health?
Oh, it looks spiky. An incrustation of godblood, highly resistant to conventional and unconventional weaponry. It looks bizarre, though. Increases.
That's just the legs. Loss. My dude, I've got 450 hull strength now.
Decent. You need to repair it, though.
Oh, yeah.
You need to feed it corpses. I'm gonna laugh if, like, when the hull type changes like this, instead of repairing it with wood or steel anymore, you have to feed it corpses.
That would be funny.
It's like, yes. What's my fuel now? Corpses. What are you talking about? My fuel? It's just wood. No, it's corpses. It's like, oh no. Oh no.
Let's go help assassinate G because there's a bunch of stuff in that area we gotta do.
Ooh.
Crap, which city was that? I'm dumb. Bridges. Perseverance. Yeah, we're doing that one slower because we already did the one that we wanted to rush testing. Hand in a bounty. Keep up the good work. 250 for the lawless outlaw. He grins merrily in his Daguro type. How can an innocent-looking fellow commit such crimes? The face of handsome Kendrick Vane leers on the poster below. Bold block letters advertise a bounty of 100 guineas. I don't get out of bed for that. He's an enforcer for the hangnet mob. You can see the noose hanging around his neck. His job is to attack merchants who don't pay their dues to the syndicate. Let's hunt down the lawless outlaw. Let's plan our assassination. Chris, you read.
Okay, welcome to the War Room, Ashen says as she lays out her blueprint of Fortune Hall. The War Room looks remarkably like her bedroom. Her bed is unslept in. No one will expect us to attack through the Mirrorverse, she says. This is going to be perfect.
Wait, us?
Yes. She nods, just once. Us.
Okay.
Ashen pulls a pistol from her bedside drawer. The golden bullet is loaded already. We need to discuss who shoots. I'd love to be the one who kills the bastard, of course, but I'm a terrible shot. There's a reason I like my knives.
The gunsmith did imply that aim didn't matter.
True, says Ashen. She holds the gun with disdain, like it's a drowned rot. I've just never been good with firearms and such. Where's the passion? Now, stabbing. Stabbing can be a work of art.
Sure, I'll do it.
Ashen hands you the gun. You tuck it into your belt. Don't fire until G is in your sights, please. We only have the one chance at this. Have you gone Mirrorverse before, boss?
No,
Then you should prepare yourself. He looks at you with a snide glare. The world will turn surrealist. Do not step on the violet grass. Avoid looking at the sky, even if you can hear it call your name, and try not to think about anything that frightens you. Are you ready?
Yes.
The fetch mirror glows and flickers in the corner, the movement of your reflection delayed by an instant. Ashen strides towards it, her thin frame casting the scarecrow shadows across the wall.
Together.
You leap into the mirror, and the glass shatters you across time and space.
You emerge in a reversed replica of Ashen's bedroom.
Beyond that mirror-carved niche of reality, of course, the Mirrorverse spasms and whistles. The sky, don't look, is a field of blazing teeth. The indigo grass, don't touch, is breathing and shrieking in a wordless language. Bleeding comets orbit you. Ashen seems to know the way. She forges ahead through clouds of maddeningness. You may get some distance before she collapses, sagging sideways like a decrepit elm. Flashing grass is wrapped around her feet. Her good eye is as white as the blind one. I'm sorry, Purse, she says, clutching at your coat. I'm sorry for what I did to you. I'm making it right. She says nothing else, slumping into one of her dazed emptinesses. You look around the tangled, howling wilderness.
Oh.
I'm surprised we're only at slight advantages after all this time of traveling through the Mirrorverse. Visions, girls singing stories on a windy day, bronze-muscled warriors swimming upstream, a swarm of green-eyed demons marinating in vinegar. You're losing yourself through the mirrors. You've been walking in circles for hours, Ashen, silent, empty at your sides.
Follow your heart.
You loop her arm over your shoulder and pull her through the whirling colors of dance. A wooden armoire sits pointlessly in the middle of an empty waste. You tear the door from its hinges and bundle inside through the coats and the furs. You emerge in another part of the verse. Quieter. In the distance you see a small circle of reflected kitchen, the view from your mirror's hiding place in Fortune Hall. Ashen stares and wakes, breathing heavily. Well done, boss, she mumbles. Didn't expect anything like that. Bad. bad memories.
Something approaches.
The shimmering sky cracks like an eggshell. A vast pale dome emerges, followed by pairs of weeping eyes, a convulsing lamprey mouth. It's almost like a human, but sexless and colossal and lacking limbs. The god emperor himself, Atreides. A torso, a bald, slavering head, floating balloon-like towards you. Strangers approach Fortune Hall, intones the entity. They must identify themselves. The security system in the Mirrorverse. Ashen takes a deep, shuddering breath and grins horridly. I didn't expect that. The crafty old bastard. Stammering, you identify yourself as a consortium. Traitor. Deception detected. Identity rejected, says the entity, opening a spiraling mouth. It chews, it grimaces, it bites, it tears. There is nothing left. The path of prophecy is broken. Do you wish to consist in a doomed world?
You identify yourself as a consortium traitor. The entity's lamp-like eyes sweep you up and down, commencing optic scan. Thinking quickly, you eject the gold bullet from the chamber and hold it at eye level. The entity sweeps its lights over again and again, then retreats. Pass, it says. Walk to the mirror.
The busy kitchen falls quiet and still as you leap through the mirror. No alarms have been tripped, no bells are ringing or sirens wailing. You've successfully slipped under the radar, or so you think. The cooks watch you with wide, scared eyes as you head upstairs to G's office. The enormous man is poring over his poems. He looks up at you, says, eyes red-rimmed, and starts in surprise when he sees Ashen. Ashley, he says, I see. So it was you who killed Gustav. His hands creep beneath his desk, groping for a panic button. Please, think. Remember the time you shoot him in the head.
Back downstairs.
Downstairs, the kitchen's alarms are finally ringing. The cooks are rampaging back and forth in panic. You hear a splash as one of them falls into a vat of soup. Guards clamor outside, but they'll never reach you in time. You and Ashen saunter back to the fetch mirror and dive through the cracked glass. The entities are nowhere to be seen. Freed from servitude, perhaps, by the death of their master, back through the madness of the mirror reverse, back to Ashen's reflected cabin, back through the looking glass. Triumphant.
We did it. We saved the city, Patrick.
Yeah. Yes, saved.
We're heroes. I gotta go visit Bodak's Gaze at some point. Yeah, that away. We'll do a circle on the lower level and reach there via Fargyle. Let's celebrate our success, Chris.
Yay! Time to go drinking. Time to go drinking. The consortium will be tearing themselves apart already, says Ashen. G never thought he'd die, so why appoint a successor or a fallback plan? The city of Bridges is going to be a dangerous place for a while. More so than usual. She's more chipper than you've ever seen her. It's all thanks to you, boss. I'll fight in your crew as long as you'll live. You have my word. Just don't be immortal.
Let's ask about the other names on the list while she's such in a good mood.
She shakes her head. Can't tell you all the names on my list, boss, but I can tell you the very last one. She points to herself. Me. When I'm done with the other 8, well... She makes a quick cutting motion across her throat.
A toast to the death of the ancients.
You pour Ashton a glass of fizzing champagne, and she raises it with a smile. To Canute. And the end of 7 more.
Yeah. Now we can replace her. Alright, let's blow up Waker's Respite. The first step of your plan is to trick your way into Waker's Respite. Easier said than done, of course. The naughty doctors rarely grant access to an outsider. Pretend Violante is your prisoner. You dress yourself in the outfit of the dead naughty doctor prisoner. A black... He's not dead, though. There's an oversight, Altos. I, spared the prisoner. You dress yourself...
Altos is already gone.
Oh. Did he say
it was late for him. He, went to bed.
Alright, I'll let him know. Alright. You've captured the escaped subject, you tell the guards, marching Violante forward and putting on your most toneless voice. They ask for the passphrase. You didn't know there was going to be a passphrase. I was a prisoner on your Connectipede for a long time, you explain. The passphrase will have changed since I was captured. The naughty doctors whisper to each other and let you through. Just like that. Soon you're in an orb flying up to the communes above you. One of you will need to go after the power coil and the other frees the sleepless. I feel like she being a sleepless is probably going to have better luck, Wait, I'm also sleepless, but whatever. I'll go after the coil and send her to free the sleepless. Of course she brought gunpowder just for this purpose. Violante will release as many prisoners as she can while you head to the coil. It sits in the center of the orb, a towering corkscrew of blazing green light. The tranquil orb is filled with leafy vegetation, delicately patterned black and white gravel, ponds of dancing fish. The only cues of respite's true purpose are the brutal white buildings and the occasional sleepless prisoner shuffling past. Yeah, let's pull the fucking thing up. You jam your gunpowder at the coil's base, set light to the fuse, and run away as though 1,000 demons nip at your heels. The explosion nevertheless manages to lift you off your feet, depositing you upside down on the back of a shrieking naughty doctor. But the coil's been destroyed. Deadly shards of razor-sharp glass rain down all over you. At the same time, a horde of thousands of screaming sleepless burst from their cell block. The sleepless sweep through the orb commune, an army of angry and insane and wronged. Naughty doctors lift their lances in calm defiance, then shriek when they realize that there's no green energy crackling out and spearing their foes. Every weapon in Waker's Respite is dead. Soon, so is every naughty doctor. This had to happen, Violante shouts as you run from the chaos, feet slipping on blood and green slime, glass crunching beneath your boots. No other way! You commandeer one of the last undamaged orbs and fly haphazardly down to your Connectipede below. Well, behind you, the entire commune cracks and sinks. You scuttle away in your Connectipede. Behind you, the glass shards fall like snowflakes. We did it, says Violante. She's breathlessly happy. I thought this would be a suicide mission, but we did it. They're not coming after me anymore. She sits back and an unfathomable weight lifts from her shoulders. Limbs unstiffen, head tilts. With a jolt, you realize that she's begun to snore. For the first time in 10 years, Violante is asleep. The cure for sleep... Oh, no, they already cured her sleeplessness. I remember. You sneak away without waking them.
Well, now she can enjoy hazard coffee for the first time again.
Yeah. Your Connectipede's legs slip and stumble over a blanket of glass shards. The orbs have lost their eerie green glow. They lay broken on the floor like a field of bulbous cracked mushrooms. City of Masks.
I'm sure this will have no lasting repercussions.
It's fine. Alright, so I'm done with my guard captain, I'm done with my lookout. Desperate folk? I don't think so. Oh, only one cannon. I can see why they're so desperate. I should have blasted the Lightkeeper. Oh well, it didn't hit. They did eat mummies as snacks, didn't they?
No, I think they burned them.
No, but they also ate them as snacks. In 18th century, eating mummies was pretty popular. Oh, another golem. Good. Goody.
That was worth it, right?
Gumdrops,
It was worth it.
I think I might do Persephone's dream at the end of this stream. Haunting vision. Rich people are weird. Hard month. Oh well. Nah, you don't pay enough. I need another one of you. Fiona McKenna. Abandoned outside Fargo Keep as a baby, she's raised by the fearsome poet knights. She has an official-looking letter of recommendation that she says is from the Knight Commander himself. Nice. It requires a great deal of subterfuge and an overlarge trench coat to smuggle the fighting, raving Cromlech into the theater. When you finally have him settled down, he's an absolute nightmare until the lights dim. After that, he's silence and in trance. You're watching the labors of Dan Carcaden, this tragedy of the unicorn mask hero. When he defends an accused murderer from a lynching, the people turn against him and hang them both. By the play's end, the audience are bawling with tears. Cromlech weeps the hardest of all. That evening, you spot him writing again, the first time he's held a pen since the ritual. Isn't that happy?
Yay!
Spire. He refuses to use his real name or tell you who he's hiding from. The third eye on his forehead glimmers with terrible purpose, but the other two look wide and scared. Long jerky. We go into Fargyle. We're also going to talk to some people. You find Spire curled up in bed moaning, Chris.
Sure, it'll be fine. It's fine. Just don't worry about it. It's fine.
Fine.
The pain is at its worst before I sleep, he explains in a dull whisper. The eye in his forehead, you notice, is half shut.
What's that thing in your head?
I don't know, says Spire. It drowns out my thoughts with its hatred. It loathes everything, everyone, and me especially. Worst is when I'm in a city. Aside from me, it hates cities, most of all. He gives you a quiet, tight smile. Out here, in the deep dark, it's better.
How bad is it usually?
Sometimes it gets so bad I can't think, can't feel, can't move. But usually it's just a headache.
Let's take a month off at the City of Keys, huh? Can you see through the eye?
No, says Spire. He hesitates and shivers. Sometimes it shows me things, though. Flashes. Fragments.
Have you tried removing it?
Spire shrieks, clasping his hand to his forehead. No, he gasps. Even thinking about it, the pain. He shakes violently for a moment. Third eye, filling the room with glimmers of violet. When he recovers, the normal eyes have an extra hint of shadow beneath them. Removal is out of the question, he says, but I would like to try communicating with it and see what it wants. I hear that Dr. Grindelow in the City of Keys is an expert on this sort of thing.
He hugs himself tightly and sniffs, and also Grindelow sucks. I hate him.
But he's an expert. The expert.
Fiona McConaughey. I pronounced it. Chris, you find Fiona flipping through one of my poetry books.
I have a confession to make, Captain, she says, tossing the book to one side. I had ulterior motives for joining your crew. I knew you were a poet. She laughs, embarrassed. Can you teach me how to write like you do? I know I'm a poet knight by training, but I was so bad at poetry. I was never actually knighted.
Let's hear one of your poems, then.
Fiona pulls a sheet of paper from her desk drawer and coughs. This is a poem about Fargal Keep. A poem about Fargal Keep. Ahem. The castle was founded by Sir Fargal and made out of rock. He laid down the stones and unlocked the lock. The views from the castle are exceptionally lovely, especially the mirror, which is filled to brim with mercury. She shrugs. Yeah, that's what you're dealing with.
Yeah, that was awful.
You know, it's still better than half the use stuff you make.
True.
Yeah, pretty much. Fiona burst into laughter. That one was bad, even for me.
Are you any good with a sword?
Oh, I was top of the class with the sword, says Fiona. Unfortunately, being a poet knight is about more than that. The best war poetry can decapitate a man at 50 paces.
Let's hear one of your poems, then.
Oh, we got another
that was
recollection.
good. Yeah, don't even try. That one was bad even for me. I need honest criticism if I need to get better. I'm happy to teach you.
Ah, thank you, she smiles warmly. That's a relief. I never know I'll be a great poet, but maybe one day I can be an adequate one.
I need I need another volume of poetry. God damn it. Bastages. Do you sell poems? No. Fight back. Dang, he dead. Yeah, get that working. That'll surely save you. Yay! Got smoke. I got drugs, you guys. Also, that is one fucked up, highlighted pub, huh? Very dark, very sad. Haha, I don't fear crashing no more because I got the best armor in the game, huh? Oh, hello. Difficulty, bad idea. AI is better. Enemy weapons and armor are improved. Upper deck crew are much more likely to die. I haven't even tried to balance this. Generally unfair. Don't, you want to destroy the Tyrannic with me, Chris?
Or
on hard mode?
Weak. The Tyrannic, one of a kind. Tall as a mountain, the most intimidating weapon in the governor's arsenal. A dreadnought that itself inspires dread. Hundreds of crew scurry in its veins like ants. The Tyrannic was built after the Chimeric campaign, and it's no coincidence that the cities have not needed to fight a war since...
Attack!
The single missile streaks high in the air and plinks against its hull, leaving the tiniest pockmark. It rumbles on unaware.
Keep firing, it'll notice me eventually. I wish I knew which gun was which.
We got this, boys.
This is gonna hurt a little bit. Why is there no... why is there no one in the goddamn weapons bay?
We got almost a full hull, too. We're good to go.
Bruh, I put you in the weapons bay. What the fuck?
And their hull is only, you know, a little bit more than 3 times more than ours. So, like, we are good to go.
That's okay. We're going for the softest thing they have. Their people. Also, I would have won that round if this was not fucked up, huh?
I mean, you did anyways. They missed twice.
That's true. I don't know which one I've already primed. This is gonna suck. Let's put some range between us and them. Ow.
Hey, we're at 342.2 hull. This is the first time I've seen fractional hull.
That's almost definitely a glitch, huh?
Well, it's because our hull reduces incoming damage by a percentage.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's why that happened. It should
if I had one fix, it would be rounding your health at the end of combat.
I would say just round the incoming damage.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Whichever's easier, I guess.
Should never convert it to float in the first place. Boink! They're not shooting you, man. They're not shooting you.
Yeah, they don't have any guns left, huh?
No, auto fire. Into the darkness. See, he went to the gun.
Right as it took its last hit.
Mm-hmm. The Tyrannic collapses inward, tier after tier of red-hot iron, dropping and crushing the tier below. An enormous loss of life. As the losses of life go, it is more majestic than most. Floors, walls, and ceiling are blasted with cracks and craters. The air is so hot that your kinetipede sizzles. Most of all, everything is drowned in smoke, and it takes hours for it to clear.
An outstanding victory. The Tyrannic's massive wreck just begs to be plundered.
Golem! A cavernous ruin. You will never find everything. You prise open the blasted remains of what was once a vault hidden deep within its bowels. There must have been 2,000 guineas in here. A solid gold statue of priceless value. And there, your heart skips a beat. Could it be? With a reverent whisper you call over your crew and haul the key from the rubble. Don't you have like 7 of those already?
Yeah.
There's more, of course. A crate of mysterious goods with the factory symbol stamped on the outside. The engine is an unfathomable thing, a coiled behemoth of stone and circuitry that writhes as though in pain. Even with such a bounty, the most interesting of all is the horrendous cannon you tear from its exterior. It is the Tyrannic's largest and most prominent gun, the only one to survive the blast, and you have never before seen its like.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
I'm sure it's fine.
I'm gonna have to load. I can't function like. I'm gonna have to load. I can't function like that.
We just need to walk it off. Just enough propaganda. Just make more propaganda, friend.
Nope.
What happens if you just go to the City of Keys? They might you just have to bluff and say it wasn't you.
I can't do shit.
As soon as you enter in the gates, they no, that was the other Noot. I'm Noot, not Noot.
Y'all my goddamn witnesses. I wrecked that thing. I wrecked it hard.
Is there any way to continue the story after wrecking it?
Yes, but I'd want to get everything else taken care of first.
Fair. Yeah, the hidden bosses. How did they know? Everyone was dead. It's likely some people escaped via mirrors.
That's possible. Never even thought of that.
On a vessel that big? Almost certainly.
Yeah. Nope, don't tempt me, you harlot.
Now what you need to do is you need to show up there in the dinkiest little kinetipede and act as pirates and say, "Hand over all your loot. We want 25 guinea, otherwise we're going to board you."
You read, I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Yeah. You explain the situation to the poet knights, and they agree to forgive Cromlech any impoliteness. He shouts and snarls at first, but as the poetry flows, and whiskey and laudanum flows with it, he quietens. By the end, Cromlech is in tears of joy. Oh, sorry about that, had a yawn.
Sorry, I'm back.
He's back, friends. He's back.
So beautiful, he sobs, blowing his nose noisily into the tablecloth. They only sell that. They can't buy it here. That sucks. Bodax gaze. Bonk.
Boink. Boy.
Yeah, let's buy some drugs. Yeah. Ooh, Cromlech comes to speak with me. He's polite and calm, almost his old self, Chris.
Thank you for reminding me who I am, says Cromlech. He is even wearing his old clothes, ironed and cleaned. You have always been kind to me. I was wrong to fight you, and I am sorry. He pauses for a long time, but I cannot forgive humanity. I have seen your sins, and I know why the other goatmen fight from you or hide you, and I would like you to take me back to the Godstones.
That's definitely another glitch.
What, you were in, like, negative 2000 relationship?
Oh, you're absolutely right. What about our love?
I will miss what we had, and there are tears in his eyes, but I cannot love you again, not now. He clasps your hand gently and squeezes, then he turns away.
Cromlech! No. They broke my baby!
He broke. He broke.
I'm close to finding a pattern in the blinks, I'm sure of it. Nope. Definitely nothing there. Definitely nothing there, you guys.
It's good. It's good.
You want to read?
Sure. You start to get a sense of what Gaze is trying to say. You decode two words that are used repeatedly. Pain. And the rest are indecipherable gibberish.
It's fine.
It is. I agree.
Yeah, we could go to Twin Flower Rest. Bonk. Just gonna boop it a little, you guys.
Just nudging it over. It's fine.
Oh no. Cultural knowledge and forgotten legends. Preach the word of Willowpan. You tell the story of how Willowpan gave mortals heartlights. The Mycenae villagers listen with obvious disinterest. Losers. Let's go rig an erection. What's my lowest stat? Esoteric. Yay, free guy. They're just giving them away.
Yay! Free is great. Free is great. Vote the 9th today, says the hidden boss.
Yeah.
Boss. Nice.
Who's winning? The Carrion Minister. Every reporter I meet always wants to bring up the scandals. It's dreadfully dull, and I'm an incorrigible rascal, and everybody knows it by now. The latest incident you may have heard about is my little party in the dirigible above the gardens. I know it got a little out of hand, but I assure you it was a night to remember. He launches into a long and sparkling anecdote about the party. Go watch his most famous aristocrats, comedians, and artists. Gallons of molten chocolate streaming across the floor into a 2-scale replica of the Moslin River. Broken crumbs of shortbread for the tombstones, the finest wines, the most delightful performances and songs. Oh!
Oh?
He has the fake daguerreotypes.
Yes.
Home life. My home life is spread on the back page of tabloids every week. I throw parties with the rich and famous. I get into amusing scrapes and shenanigans. I wake up in the gutter. I throw another party. Occasionally I take a day off to write my memoirs, which are soon to be available in all good bookshops. Policies. I will lift the Ghoul Watch controls on immigration, invest in our military, and give tax breaks to the middle class. I'll also make Ghoul Watch a much more beautiful place to live.
Yay, that's exactly what we needed.
Yep, could be, but we're gonna go for the worst one. Living having the vote. Let the will of the people guide me. Ghoul Watch shall have a ghouls only referendum on whether the living should be allowed to vote. It's the fairest way. Yep. The fakeness. That's right, a flattering piece on ours. The Gallows Minister. You write a handsome little puff piece dedicated to the Gallows Minister, a sensible and reliable fellow for strange and unreliable times. Something about it seems to strike a chord with Ghoul Watch citizens. You see ghouls reading the article at shops and stations, and the Gallows Minister's name props up in conversations around you. You manage to catch for a moment the flightiest thing, the spark of popular attention. Ooh, 3-way tie. I don't know what happens if there's a tie.
I'm guessing one of them will win by just a tiny little line, because they're probably
Maybe.
not. It's probably displayed as integers, but it's actually floats in the back end.
Could be. Alright. Let's go to Bodox.
Nice.
No, it didn't put me back at 1%. I'm in a three-way tie with the other two. Yeah,
no, I have some.
Now. Bonk. 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 Chris.
Okie dokie. End us. We're in pain, end us, blind us, end us in pain, end. You try to ask the gaze who it is, why it is in pain, how you can help it, but it just repeats that smattering of words again and again. It's near impenetrable blinking code.
Who wants to be blinded? Ended. Perhaps I could do some research.
Yes. It's nothing to worry about. It'll be fine.
Look through your books. There must be a reason. What is it? And why does it want to die? Should you destroy it or leave it be? Do you want to read?
Mentions of Bodak's gaze are few and far between. Apparently, it was discovered centuries ago by an explorer named Josephine Bodak, who stayed here just long enough to plant a flag and name it after herself. She was then later eaten by some moths in an unrelated incident. Since then, precious few have bothered to visit the gaze. Several scholars and occultists have speculated as to its origin, though. One theory is that Bodak's gaze is the eyes of people from other worlds, seers and summoners and world nomads who attempted to peer into the house without actually traveling there. The house refuses to let anything escape, not even those who stare into it. Their gaze has been trapped for thousands of years on an unremarkable section of floor.
And now it wants to die. The gaze's eyesight. Blinding it will destroy it utterly.
Oh, it'll be fine. It needs flares and gunpowder.
Yep.
Nice.
Let's go visit Aranak. We'll do that, then we'll go to Ghoul Watch, then we'll Dream of Trees. Yeah.
Balthus Homewood, you're not wrong.
No gunpowder. Sad. Perseverance. I will buy some gunpowder while I'm here, though. Alright. Lord be the gallows minister. Oh, god damn it, I did it again.
Dun, dun,
That
dun.
exact glitch that I did earlier.
Yeah.
He's reliable. Let's just campaign in Ghoul Watch middle tier. With passion. Fuck's sake. Oh, we're in the lead by a lot. Things are going well. Alright, shall we, Chris?
A dream of trees. You've dreamed yourself back in the orchard. But something is different. Before you, a gathering of 8 figures, each holding an iron-barbed spear. Some move with terrible purpose. Others hang back, reluctant. Persephone herself is backed up against the tree, raising her hands in useless supplication. One of the figures drives her spear deep into Persephone's chest, twisting and grinding until it finally jolts between her ribs. A soft thud as it passes through her entirely and settles into the bark.
The fruits flash so brightly that your eyes boil inside the sockets.
But the pain is only fleeting. Blinking, you find yourself standing once more before Persephone, where she hangs. The smile on her lips is bitter. You dream of things you should not, wanderer, she chastises. Our time was snatched away from us before. This time I shall be brief. Your first step in finding me is to discover which door hides the orchard.
So what must I do?
There are precious few left who know which door hides the orchard, she says. Your most likely bet is Zazaphael, who lurks in a broken tower in the City of Angels, but he will be reluctant to tell you anything after what happened last time. She shifts uncomfortably. You hear metal grinding against bone. Could you perhaps adjust this spear? The point is lodged against my spine. Even the smallest movement is agony. Every time you reach for the spear, it seems to be just out of reach in the maddening matter of dreams. Never mind, she sighs. Persephone, just find Zarafael. Somehow, persuade him to tell you which door leads to the orchard. A golden-orange glow sweeps through the tide, carrying you back home.
Your awakening is almost gentle this time. Alright,
No. We have enough keys now. Let's just go methodical and open every single door.
Yeah. Who's pulling highest? Horned Minister. Policies aside from war, which he has none. Military ambitions. Living. Last time he was prime minister. Scarred minister. He has no policies outside of war. And let's bring it home. The priest of oaths is ruling oblique, the bereft lover and the child who will peak. I am inspired to this song by discord and woe. I am inspired to this song by discord and grave woe. This poem is a thinly veiled allegory lampooning his aggression. The Horn Minister himself makes things worse by publicly ranting about how the poem is an insult to his honor. This only draws further attention to it and makes it somewhat funnier. Alright, we got to take down the Tourmaline Minister and the Silent Minister next. But that will be the next stream.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, so thanks for showing up, fellas. I have been Noot.
And I am Chris. All of you have a great rest of your week, and we'll probably be around sometime again this week. We always do. Again, there's also the Discord link, and don't forget about the. Let's see if I can get the link fast enough.
Aux.
That's the Discord
that's
link to the
Discord.
Aux. Yeah, and I'm just gonna get the
Website.
podcast.
Oh, I'm dumb. I should let you talk.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
And do we have the one for the website? We do have the website. Nice. In terms of anyone up next,
that's Confused One in a few moments. So
Okay, yeah.
y'all have a good one.
Enjoy. Have a great day, everybody.
Yep.
Bye.
See ya.